If you hold Ripple's XRP, it's official. The SEC just announced a closed-door meeting, and tons of people in the XRP space are speculating that this lawsuit is completely over by July 18th. So in this video, we're going to discuss if that's actually true, the real reasons why XRP is up over 14% over the past 24 hours at 53 cents, why I decided to buy $50,000 worth of XRP last night at about 47 cents. I announced this inside of our private Telegram group. If you guys want to get access to that Telegram group and know what I'm doing, when I'm doing it with my portfolio, then the link will be in the description below. Also, by the end of this video, I want to show you guys what I'm doing to earn massive crypto rewards in the play to earn gaming space. Another altcoin that I'm extremely bullish on that I talked about over 7 months ago at around $4, it rallied upwards of $20, and I think this project has a very bright future this bull run. What's happening on the XRP price chart and the reason why I am more bullish than ever before, a document that talks about how Ripple's plans to bridge cross-border liquidity with XRP is a complete lie, and their secret plan uncovered. What Grayscale has to say now about XRP, the amount of money that's about to flow into the markets by Q4 of 2024 near election time, and the most likely scenario to happen next in the short term, mid-term, long term for Bitcoin and the entire altcoin market. If you guys are feeling bullish, comment 777. If you're feeling blessed, comment 777. If you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, confirm it by tapping the subscribe button. Let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So XRP is sitting at 53 cents right now at the time I'm making this video. You know, up 20% the past week, 14% the past 24 hours. It's good to see this finally happening. You know, out of the top 100, XRP is the one that's up the most, up 20%, whereas the rest of the market is hanging out. Cardano's up 18%, Bitcoin Cash up 10%, Litecoin up 7%, XLM up 14%. So XLM is going to follow along what XRP is doing. And then the rest of the markets are making a recovery the past week. So it's good because, you know, lots of money is going to be flowing into the industry by the end of this year. And by the end of this video, I'll be sharing with you the reason why. But this is breaking news because the SEC to have a secret meeting this Thursday, July 18th in Washington. It's closed to the public. The subject matter of the closed meeting will consist of the following topics: institution and settlement of injunctive actions, institution and settlement of administrative proceedings, resolution of litigation claims, and other matters relating to examinations and enforcement proceedings. So this is what's causing everyone to speculate right now. So in terms of this lawsuit being completely over, well, Ripple has to pay a settlement agreement. So if they're going to be talking about settlement and injunctive actions, then most people are assuming that they're going to discuss the Ripple lawsuit, come to an agreement, and you know, lots of people are talking about it ending this month. So that's in about a week from right now. But another big reason that a lot of people aren't really talking about, the reason why XRP is taking off, is because the CME group just posted this, saying starting July 29th, benefit from transparent pricing on 2 new cryptocurrencies and CME Internet Computer Dollar and XRP Dollar reference rates and real-time indices are added to their expanding suite of benchmarks. So this is massively bullish news for ICP and XRP. And if you guys look at the Internet Computer chart, you know, Internet Computer took a bounce from $5.90 upwards of, you know, $8 right now. And so the recovery is nice to see in the short term, even though, you know, over the next few months, it's going to be very, very volatile to get out of this range right here. As you can see, ICP on the RSI is trending upwards on this ascending support. It's seen a nice bounce from here. And if we were to zoom out on Internet Computer, you know, the all-time high for this project, because this was another massively manipulated project by FTX. They manipulated this project to pump Solana up. And so ICP's high at the peak of that bull run was $87, but it launched all the way up here. You can see this massive candle wick where it just sold off upwards of $2,800. So no, I don't think Internet Computer is going to go to $2,800 this cycle, but I don't see why it wouldn't go back up to the all-time high of, you know, the all-time high of the bull run, right? September, right here, of $86. I don't see why that's not possible. Now, as you guys know, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't claim to be one. This isn't financial advice. These videos are purely for education, informational purposes only. Crypto is risky. You could lose money in these markets. And this is just for example purposes only. And so if ICP were to break out from where it is right now and hold this support right here, you know, what I believe the chart would look like is something like this. You know, if we see a recovery in the short term, which we're seeing right now, the next resistance that it's going to face to the upside is where a lot of buying was taking place right here around $11 to $12 within this range. So this is going to be the next resistance for ICP. If it gets rejected from this, I would expect it to come back down to the support right here, maybe even sweep out a lot of other people closer to, election time, November, and then start working its way on out of here for the next high. So if there is another low for ICP, or if the low is already in just recently, then the only other opportunity to back up the truck for this project, in my opinion, would be sometime around August, September, October, maybe November. There's a final shakeout event in the markets for another dip before it starts working its way on out of here. But I expect it to continue to recover towards the end of this month with this bullish news for the CME group. Now, I also made a video, like I said, about ICP about 7 months ago, and this is exactly what I said.
And the 1% are looking for the narratives that have yet to gain mainstream adoption, where virtually nobody is talking about them, and they're buying down at the bottom before we see massive amounts of institutional money flow into a project like Internet Computer.
Now, I hold ICP in my portfolio, but that doesn't mean that you guys should, because obviously it's very volatile. I mean, if you bought upwards of $20, you'd be down 70%. You're still down 59%. So that's why you need to watch the RSI right here on the daily, or on the weekly in this case. When it reached 84 on the RSI, it was drastically overbought, and we could see this divergence where we saw lower highs on the price chart, lower highs on the indicator, and higher highs on the price chart, which means usually when you see a higher high getting formed on the price chart like this and a lower high on an indicator like the RSI, it means the bulls are losing steam and the bears will eventually take over. When the second high comes in on the RSI and it's lower than the previous high, and it's higher than the previous high on the price chart, well, then after that, there's not much more potential to the upside, because a rejection from this point, even at a back test of the resistance on this descending resistance on the RSI, usually leads to a continuation of the downtrend. So what I look for is I look for it to be bottoming out at other trend lines or below 30. So for example, this is an ascending trend line for the RSI all the way back to June of 2022, where we can see 1 point, 2 point, 3.4 points of contact. So it's a very strong trend line. So I'm expecting a recovery for RSI in the short term to come upwards of 50 and a potential rejection. And then maybe another sweep to the downside for ICP middle of summer later this year. And then around election time when money starts coming in, maybe we work our way on out of here. Now, this is not a guarantee, obviously. This is what I would hope for to happen to accumulate more ICP, but my bag is packed. I'm excited. And for XRP, why did I decide to pack my bag for XRP? Well, look at this chart, guys. If you study, symmetrical triangles, ascending triangles, descending triangles, just all sorts of different trading patterns and stuff. I don't claim to be the best trader in the world, but understanding the basics is really important for you, because this is a macro symmetrical triangle that goes all the way back to January of 2018. So this is 2,387 day triangle. And so this symmetrical triangle just keeps coiling up. And the longer that it coils up in this triangle and it just starts to get flatlined right here within this range, anywhere between, 30 cents upwards of 95 cents, and it gets tighter and tighter and tighter, when this breaks, it's going to be absolutely insane. So right now, this is just the calm before the storm, and this little green candle right here where people are getting a little bit of FOMO. Sure, XRP could come back down to the 40-cent range, consolidate for a little bit longer, going into like August, September, and cool off for a little bit before we see a massive breakout. Very similar to what happened all the way back here. Back from 2013 until February of 2017, XRP was in another symmetrical triangle, and it sweeped out these lows right here for the ascending support. Very similar to what just happened recently with this wick down to 37 cents. So the bottom could be in for XRP, similar to how the bottom was in right here. And then it saw this green candle, another green candle, another green candle, and we just catapulted higher. So with this news coming about the lawsuit being over, the settlement agreement by Ripple and the SEC being paid, we could see this moment right now being the breakout moment for XRP. If we see it break to the upside of this descending resistance and maybe a potential back test or just a continuation to the upside, I don't see why XRP wouldn't start breaking upwards of 70 cents, 80 cents, 90 cents, a dollar. Maybe this is the moment, or hey, maybe it cools off for a little bit after that, comes all the way back down here and then starts to go. Either way, this is one of the smartest trades in crypto, in my opinion. Like I say, I could be wrong, because XRP has been one of the biggest underperformers in my portfolio and yet one of my largest holdings. And a lot of these other altcoins are outperforming in the short term. But I expected that, because I'm not treating XRP like a 24-hour or even a month-long trade. I'm treating it like a 401k that will not go away over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. This project is going to be around long-term because it's in Ripple's playbook for the future. Now, the Crossborder Payment Lie. Let's discuss this because this is by Kendra Hill's blog. I thought this was an incredible point here because if you were to do research on Ripple, which is the company, and XRP, which is the cryptocurrency, you would come to the conclusion that their goal to replace SWIFT as the world's leading cross-border payment provider. Now, a lot of people have said that that's not true. It's to complement SWIFT. So I don't know how correct she is on this. What she were to say is that Ripple does not care about cross-border payments and that replacing SWIFT is only a short-term plan, or complementing SWIFT is a short-term plan to bring some liquidity. But in the digital age, you are able to connect with anyone around the world in seconds. For this reason, using one digital currency would be ideal. Now, they told this 40 years ago, get ready for a one world currency, the new world order, whatever you want to call that. Not only is one currency all that is needed, it would be more efficient if we were to all use one single currency, right? If you travel to countries, why do you need to exchange the US dollar for the euro? Couldn't you just use the exact same currency? That's the most common sense moving forward in the future. It just takes time to do that because you're dealing with different governments, different countries, and different central banks. So what would happen to a cross-border payment provider when the world is using a digital currency that can be sent from wallet to wallet? The cross-border payment provider is no longer needed. She assumes this is all very simple to understand. Yes, the purpose of this post is to help you understand if Ripple was only focused on cross-border payments and nothing else, their success would be short-lived. They knew this before XRP ever existed. So think of cross-border payments as a nice testing ground to prepare Ripple for the use case they have been focusing on since the very beginning. The true intentions of Ripple are to handle 100%, or at least a large chunk, of the transactions which take place in the derivatives market. So why do they not make this public knowledge? Well, for multiple reasons. The most important one being that they are not ready. It's still too early. They are missing a piece to the puzzle. And what would that piece of the puzzle be? Well, I'll let you guys decide that in the comments below, but look at this. Grayscale has spotlighted XRP as one of the most valuable crypto assets in history. If we go to Grayscale.com and we look at the currencies section, including crypto assets that serve at least one of three fundamental roles as a medium of exchange, store of value, and unit of account, and we scroll down here to the representative assets that they're using, as an example, Bitcoin is right here. Then Ripple XRP is on here. Then you have Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash. Why don't they have Ethereum on here? Why is Ripple and XRP listed right underneath Bitcoin? It's obviously because they know the true value of XRP and Ripple as a company. So if you've been panicking recently with this sell-off in the market because of the tiny little German government selling $3 billion worth of Bitcoin, don't, because FTX will start distributing stablecoins to creditors, and that's around the tune of $16 billion. FTX payments are going to be 5 times bigger than Germany. And this is going to be taking place in Q4 of this year, leading into November and December. And so this is a lot of money that's going to be coming back into the markets. So it doesn't look like Bitcoin has that much further to the downside before it breaks out. Sure, we could see a retest of this ascending support, down around the $45,000, $50,000 range and a bounce from there. Simultaneously, that could lead to USDT's dominance gaining traction back up to this, ascending support, which is going to act as resistance. That could happen, but then ultimately USDT would break down. That money would flow back into Bitcoin. Bitcoin would break out, and I think Bitcoin would surge upwards of $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 towards the end of this year. Now, the CEO of Ripple obviously said that the crypto market cap of this whole industry is most likely to go to $5 trillion by the end of this year, and we're only at 966 billion for total 2, which is the crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin, and it has Ethereum and everything else. And so if we were to look at the last bull run on what took place for this breakout on the right-hand side of the screen that you guys can see from the COVID lows, and broke out, we saw a healthy back test of the previous range of 2019's high as support. It was also the support back here in 2018, the support back here in April, and we broke on out from here. We even back tested after breaking out again, this right here as support, the resistance from August of 2020, then marching higher. And so, in my opinion, we're right around this region, or this region right here, for where we are right around this range, because we broke out, we're coming back, we're back testing this previous resistance as support right here. We're also back testing the support from February of 2022, January of 2022 right here. And most likely, if we are to see what happened play out just like it did in the past every single time post Bitcoin's halving, it usually takes 3 months to 12 months after Bitcoin's halving to break out. So what I would expect to take place is the altcoin market to, consolidate sideways within this range for an extended period of time, then ultimately start the breakout closer to the end of this year. Now, one thing that's interesting to note is on the RSI, it does look a little bit different because we had this ascending support. We didn't come back down to backtest this ascending support with this pullback. We were upwards of 60, and then we breached all the way upwards of 90, 95. So we went upwards of 79 on this rally right here. Then the backtest came down to like 60, and then we broke upwards of 90 on the RSI, and that was with the massive rally all the way up here to 600 billion. Then we peaked out at about 1.5 billion, saw this correction, and then the bull run was pretty much over after that point for the double top right here. And so this market is going to look very, very different, but I do feel that there's going to be a bounce for the altcoin market a little bit higher. My only concern here is that if the altcoin market bounces back to the all-time high and we're forming a lower high on the RSI when the next correction takes place, and we're forming a higher high on the price chart somewhere at the tune of like 1.5 trillion, 1.7, 1.8 trillion dollars, somewhere up here, and we see the markets do, something like this, surge really quick before the next correction comes in, and we're getting rejected on the RSI, and we're not doing what happened right here through this phase where we're forming higher highs on the RSI, higher highs on the price chart, then this would be a divergence. And that might not be good news for the market because we could have a steeper correction around the summer of 2025 before we ultimately top out in like Q4 of 2025 and then enter into the bear market. And so depending on how high we go for this next Elliott wave and what happens on the RSI will really determine where I feel the top of the market is going to be in and when, because I'm still sticking with my thesis that the market's going to top out in Q4 of 2025 around September to December, anywhere in between there. And I don't need to catch the exact top, but when the Pi cycle indicator comes in for the top of Bitcoin, if the RSI breaks out and starts breaching upwards of 80 or 90 even, and goes higher than expected, and then does something similar to what it did for the last bull run where we saw higher highs on the price chart, and then we just started seeing lower highs on the RSI right here, well, you could have hedged out of your portfolio right here and done fine, but see how it had much further to the upside after that, 1.5 trillion versus 690 or 700 billion. So even if you sold right here, that's a lot better than getting out of the markets like all the way down here, getting shaken out of your portfolio and scared because, some whales were selling when ultimately they accumulated, smart money accumulated, dumb money was shaken out at that point, and the markets rallied up, 463%. So even if you sold, in February of 2021, you didn't catch the exact top, you caught like a 4x or a 5x from that point right here. So for us to do like a 4x or a 5x from where we are right now, I mean, that's astronomical. To go to 2.5 trillion is 160% for total two. To go to $5 trillion is a 400%. So if we go to $5 trillion for the altcoin market, you're going to see a lot of projects do like a 10x, 20x, and even 50x that are small market cap plays. So if you guys want to see where I'm going to be focusing the majority of my attention to be able to earn massive crypto rewards in the play to earn gaming space for the rest of this bull run, I'm working on a page that's going to explain everything for you guys, and all you need to do to get access to that is go to bullrunners.com, click the button on the page, put in your best email address. You'll be instantly subscribed to our daily video newsletter where you're going to get early alerts on explosive altcoins, daily market analysis videos, pro trading strategies, and constant updates. And then also you'll be notified first when we launch our crypto education platform, when we come out with our altcoin secrets guidebook, and when I show you exactly how to be able to earn massive crypto rewards in the play to earn gaming space with me. So I appreciate you guys for watching this video. As always, I'm backing up my truck all the way to the bank, grabbing the bags, packing them and stacking them, leaving no bags left behind because I believe the spending power of the dollar is going to keep going down in value. That's a fact based on inflation. Blockchain tech, distributed ledger technology, and cryptocurrencies have been going up in value. That's the truth. And together, you know where we're going. We're going camping on the beaches of the moon. I will see you guys on the next video. I will see you on Bull Runners right now through the link in the description below. As always, you know what to do. Stay bullish.